Before the world knew him as Savior, he was a child, just like you and me. Growing up in a small village called Nazareth, he learned to walk, to speak, to love, and to obey. Nazareth was a quiet town, far from the grand cities and kings. It was here, in a humble carpenter's home, that Jesus lived his early years. As a boy, he watched his father Joseph, working with wood and nails, shaping beams and building tables. Jesus' hands learned to work hard, to be steady and patient. He wasn't born into luxury or power, but into simplicity and care. He swept floors, carried water, and helped his mother Mary with chores. Even as a child, he had a heart full of love. He cared for others, listened to their stories, and dreamed of a better world. At the age of 12, he amazed the teachers in the temple, showing wisdom beyond his years. But after that day, his childhood was mostly quiet, hidden away from the eyes of the world. He grew strong in body and spirit, learning the laws and stories of his people, preparing for the purpose he would fulfill. Though the years were simple, they were filled with lessons about humility, faith, and service. Jesus' childhood teaches us that greatness can grow quietly without fanfare or applause, that even in the ordinary, God's plan is at work. So remember, the boy from Nazareth who carried the hopes of the world once carried simple jars of water and dreamed under open skies. This is the untold story, the beginning of a life that changed everything. Jesus' childhood was a time of quiet preparation, a season of learning and growing. He walked the dusty roads of Nazareth, watching the world with gentle eyes. He played with other children, but there was always a calmness about him, a wisdom beyond his years. He listened closely to the elders' stories, the tales of their ancestors, and the promises written in the ancient scrolls. His family was close-knit and loving. Mary, his mother, cared for him with tender devotion, while Joseph, his earthly father, taught him the value of hard work. In the evenings, they would gather around the fire, sharing meals and prayers, telling stories of hope and faith. Jesus learned what it meant to be human, to feel joy and sadness, to love and forgive, to obey and trust. Even as a boy, his heart was set on something greater, a mission that would one day change the world. The years passed quietly, but each day was a step closer to his purpose. No crowds followed him yet, no miracles were known, but behind those calm young eyes, the Son of God was growing, preparing to bring light into the darkness. He listened to the soft hum of the village waking, chickens clucking, merchants calling, children laughing. Every sound was a part of the life he was learning to cherish, even as his heart carried a weight beyond his years. And though the Bible speaks little of these years, we know this. His childhood was a gift of grace, a time to learn humility and strength, and to understand the love he would one day share with all. Each afternoon, Jesus would sit quietly under the shade of an olive tree, reading the ancient scrolls with deep concentration. His fingers traced the Hebrew letters as if memorizing the very breath of God. So remember this story, not just the miracles and teachings, but the boy who once walked among us, who dreamed and hoped, who loved and obeyed. His childhood is a reminder to us all that greatness begins in the small moments, in quiet faith, and in the simple acts of love. In the evenings, as stars began to twinkle in the sky, Jesus would pray silently, his voice soft but filled with unwavering faith. He prayed for his family, his village, and for the world he was destined to save. Jesus learned the value of patience as he watched Joseph carefully carve wood, understanding that great things often require quiet effort and time. He walked the dusty roads of Nazareth with a humble heart, never seeking fame or glory, but always ready to serve those around him. He helped neighbors carry heavy loads, healed the wounds of scraped knees among children, and comforted the lonely with a kind word and a gentle smile. His eyes reflected a deep understanding, as if he saw beyond the ordinary to a future filled with hope and salvation. At night, beneath the canopy of stars, he would dream not of power or riches, but of peace for all mankind. Though he was still a child, his spirit was ancient and wise, filled with the love of the Father who sent him. In quiet moments, he would wander the hills, watching the sun dip below the horizon, feeling the pulse of creation around him. These hidden years were the foundation of his mission, a time to grow in strength, to learn obedience, and to prepare his heart for what was to come. Mary and Joseph watched him with pride and awe, knowing their son was unlike any other, yet cherishing every simple moment of his youth. The untold story of Jesus' childhood teaches us that even the greatest of journeys begin with small steps, and the most extraordinary lives are shaped in ordinary days. And so, the boy from Nazareth grew, quietly, humbly, faithfully, ready to fulfill the promise made before time itself. Before the miracles, there was wonder. Before the crowds, there was stillness. Before the cross, there was a child.